You may not give us all the details because of classified information, but give us updates. Investigations were ongoing concerning how 6 billion naira was used to pay for flood, and people are currently homeless now in those 19 states. We don't have updates. The intransitivity of information dissemination is the reason why a lot of people have the audacity to keep doing the things they are doing in Nigeria. So this came up to the media space. Give us updates. Let us know. I learned that before NTA reported the death of General Sani Abacha, CNN had already reported it. That's credibility. So give us updates. That's what I'm saying.
All right, thank you so much.
This man now, this bereaved man, he wants to know what happened. He might not be a part of the investigation. What he has is speculation. What he has is accusation against the hospital. They did not do enough. But if the investigations come back with facts, at least it will be easier for him to bear. Okay, the hospital actually did their best. It was regional poisoning, or it was whatever kind of poisoning. And okay, the police or whoever investigator comes back to say, we found out the source of the poison. This is how it happened. If people see that justice is being served and the process of justice is not being maligned, is not being covered, it makes us trust our system. I would have said praise the Lord.
All right, thank you, Mr. Martins, and we hope that, well, we will follow up to know exactly what is happening, and we pray that the man will be able to bear this loss, because this is a huge one. This is a serious one. Losing 5 people at the same time, it's not easy. All right, and then the next story, suspected Boko Haram terrorist ambush a military convoy on the Dikwa New Meta Road in Borno State, resulting in the death of 2 soldiers, 2 civilian task force commanders, and the son of a village head. Among others, the attack took place last Monday, but information was delayed due to poor telecommunication. Many were injured and some were taken to a hospital in Maiduguri. In another incident, terrorists killed farmers, including a woman in Ashigwa Shia village, Woza, while a Boko Haram commander claimed responsibility. Senator Mohammed Ali Ndume condemned the renewed attack and called for better military equipment to combat the terrorists. Wow. Another one, we are singing, may the souls of the departed rest in peace. Akume is saying, in order to be able to combat this kind of situation, Mr. Martins, at the point we are right now in Nigeria, the level of insecurity in our country, do we necessarily have to wait for the federal government, like wait to call on the federal government to alert them, to bring to their notice, to inform them that the security personnel need a kind of equipment that will protect them properly in this kind of situation to prevent unnecessary death? Because it could be recalled that they came up to say that we have over 40,000 personnel, security personnel, protecting 2 million Nigerians, and many are, and a lot are still dying. So let me understand, is this what the federal government should wait to be reminded before they can do the needful?
Well, there are 2 ways that we can look at this. The flat answer, binary answer, no. Binary, no. However, in cases like this, the attention is usually on the president, who is one man. But then the president has a cabinet that includes defense staff. We have the chief of defense staff, chief of army staff, chief of naval staff, chief of other staffs, and we have the central chief of staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, and a lot of other sub-national level divisions to Nigeria, that in 2024, we're still hearing this Boko Haram stuff at this level. It is a shame. You know why I say so? From 2012 I think 2012, 2014 were the height of the Boko Haram insurgents in Nigeria. And it pains me particularly because I lost somebody in Abuja in 2014. There was this blast that happened at the motor park in Abuja. I lost somebody. And whenever I hear Boko Haram, I remember I lost somebody. It still pains me. Recruit 50 million youths into the army, and that is something that we heard during campaign promises. So we should not remind the government. See, I say the president is one man and there are subnational levels. But still, there are some things that the president himself campaigned about. Equipping the already existing military should not even be a problem. How many billion has been removed from the coffers of Nigerian excess crude or treasury? The exact accounts, let me just say treasury, to buy equipment to fight Boko Haram. I think Boko Haram is becoming a lucrative business. Because every time we hear we're fighting Boko Haram, we're fighting. Before the 2015 elections, the elections were postponed from February to mid-March, or was it April? When did we even have the elections in 2015? Because of Boko Haram insurgency, the military said they needed 6 weeks to do some actions on Boko Haram, and were released. We had case of Samuel Kasuki. What about an arms deal? $2.1 billion US dollars. Was that not arms deal to fight Boko Haram? And 2024, we're still hearing this guy. This is embarrassing. With the kind of money that Nigeria has released to fight Boko Haram, I should have a gun to protect myself against Boko Haram. The arms should go round. All Nigerians should buy now. If they actually buy these things. Now, let me say so that somebody does not misquote me. I'm not saying I want to carry weapons. I'm doing statistical analysis so that somebody does not misquote me. What I'm saying is, if all the funds that has been released to fight Boko Haram was used to buy arms, the arms would have been sufficient for everybody in Nigeria to own one. That's what I'm saying. I should have it done by now. Or it should be that sufficient. We should have enough to fight Boko Haram. So if of the military are still coming out to clamor for arms, it is embarrassing. It's a shame.
But the question is, if the top military personnel are actually coming out to clamor for this, and then we have the so-called Boko Haram who have the appropriate, the rights, the original, if you should call it that way, equipment to actually carry out their criminal activities. Where are they getting those from that the main official Nigerian securities cannot have it? Where exactly is that coming from? Is it too expensive for the federal government or the state government to purchase?
No, it's not too expensive. If it were too expensive, the billions that came out of the coffers that would make people like me own guns, if they actually buy the gun, would not be the case now. No, the expense is not the problem. But like you rightly said, now I'm not being political or anything. I'm not a member of the Labour Party.
Okay.
So let that be cleared. Nigerians, you heard Makulata call me Honorable Martins. That's because I did some honorable things that involved certain political parties.
Okay.
Which is not party. But during the 2020 elections, Nigeria as an entity was able to track accounts with which the obedient movement was gathering funds to support the party, the candidacy of Peter Obi. They were able to track it. Pre-EndSARS, Nigeria was able to track the accounts with which EndSARS process was being funded. We could do that. How come for the past 15 years we're not able to track the accounts that are funding Boko Haram? Does it not ask some bigger questions? Are they not transacting in naira? Are they not eating food? Are they not buying the food? Or I don't know if Boko Haram has ever come up to a market to gather all the things in the market. I have not heard anything like it. That Boko Haram attacked the market and gathered food stuff. That's the transactions are happening. Food stuff somehow they have to eat human beings. Food stuff somehow is going to Boko Haram camp. If we can track the obedient movement and we can track NSAS and we can track all the things that we can track in Nigeria, sufficient weapons to fight these people. And these people somehow have access to superior weapons. That's why I say it seems like Boko Haram is becoming a great business in Nigeria. I rest my case.
And you think that they are too, should I say, powerful than the federal government, because they said if insecurity persists in a particular place for a long time, that at least the government should be held responsible. Is it that they are bigger than?
I'm trying to remember who made that statement. If insecurity persists, something the government is involved.
So are they too powerful? Are they too powerful? So what is the problem?
Is not too powerful.
And you said something. You said something that you have never heard where they said that Boko Haram got into a market to pack food stuff. That is to say that maybe, allegedly, of course, you're not saying that is happening, that someone could be supplying, food could be supplying, they could be supplying them food somewhere. But if they have a camp, why is it hard?
If we
and again,
if humans must eat, then somehow food needs to be going to the camp or wherever they are. They must be getting access to food. Because humans must eat. And
again, Miss Honorable Martins, if you could recall that they gave Nigerians a time limit to link SIM, NIN, BVN, and all the N's. So how come they have not been able to track these people? Because of course they do make calls. How come they've not been...
do come out online. The first time I saw Abubakar Shekau, I saw him on social media.
Okay, so why can't they track them? Why can't they track them through the phone calls?
And to shock you, Abubakar Shekau had a meeting, in-person meeting, with then President Goodluck Jonathan.
Oh, wow. And
when he came out, he disappeared into thin air. He could not be tracked for whatever reason. And these people are making calls. It's just a lot. But I was telling somebody either last week or this week, I made bold to say, and I'm saying it here on live TV, if Nigeria wants to tackle Boko Haram, they can do it within 1 month. If the Nigerian entity, the federal government of Nigeria, wants to bring Boko Haram to kneel, the federal government of Nigeria is way more powerful and has access to powerful allies that will bring Boko Haram down. Something is wrong somewhere in the system that is allowing Boko Haram to keep killing people till 2024. Because think about it now. Check around the world. When Muammar Gaddafi was brought down, how long did it take? A couple of contacts somewhere from here to there. Before you know it, Boko Haram will run out begging. But I don't know why, I don't know how, but it is still being sustained. It seems to be a lucrative business.
Well, I don't know about that. It says a recruiting business.
It seems to be.
Well, we don't know about that. Let's see what happened. And we really sympathize with the family that lost their loved ones. And looking at the next story, organized labor consisting of the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, the Nigerian Union of Teachers, and the Nigerian Union of Pensioners posted a staff redistribution, placement, and auditing exercise across all 774 local government areas to determine the accurate number of workers, teachers, and pensioners. They also recommended a non-year recruitment embargo following the Supreme Court ruling on financial autonomy for local government to ensure operational stability. The Joint Action Committee suggested restructuring supervisory bodies, expanding statutory membership to include local government officials and union representatives, and enhancing service delivery by procuring essential equipment. They also posted workers' welfare improvement and advocated for the federal government to strengthen the Ministry of Social Duties special duties to oversee policy reform in local government. All right, Mr. Martins, this is another one. Here we go. Here, the Labour Party are actually against the federal government giving salaries to the LGs. So they are saying that the salary should not be given to LGs, despite the autonomy that he's been signed into law. What is your take on that? What are they scared of?
Firstly, I think you've mixed the Labour Party with the organized labor. I don't think the leadership of the Labour Party would like to hear you say that. Let's clear that. The organized labor is asking, not the Labour Party.
Oh, did I say the Labour Party? Organized labor, rather. Pardon me.
Let's clear that so that somebody doesn't mistake.
I think it's because you've been using Labour Party since. Pardon me.
All right.
All right.
Firstly, it's expected. I think it is expected because the local government autonomy thing is new. We've been talking about it for a long time. It's finally here, but it's new. People would want to stick to what they are familiar with. But they say back half is safe, but forward half is where the adventure lies. I would expect them. Nigerians are not going to change in as much as we clamor for it. You know why I say so?
Why?
In Rivers State, there was local government election recently. And I know how many people were wishing for them to vote whoever pays. So you see the mindset is still there. This is an opportunity to choose leaders. Local government autonomy has been approved. You have an opportunity to choose leaders you can hold responsible at local government level. People are still willing to collect bribes to vote. So you see, change takes time in Nigeria. Even if it's good change, it takes time in Nigeria. All right. So I'm not surprised that the organized labor is begging that and their salaries should stay at state level. However, what does the law say? The law that approves the local government autonomy. If the local government chairperson is responsible now for paying of salaries, well, you can clamor up you like. Just pray that you have good leaders. And if for any reason you let yourself have not very good leaders, when the next local government election comes, go out and vote for good leaders.
But Mr. Martins, do you think that if of course it's already here, even this is their opinion and this is them trying to pour out their grievances and they know why they do not want it, all right? So if the organized labor are saying that they shouldn't give salaries to the local government, to the LGs, of course, could it be that it's going to be a worse system, or is it that...
We don't know that. We cannot tell. Because theoretically speaking, these things are good. It decongests the power.
Okay.
At the state level. How many workers does the state governor have to pay compared to how many workers that the local government chairman has to pay? It decentralizes it and makes it easier to handle. It's kind of like division of labor. It is now concentrated, easier, the paperwork will be easier and stuff like that. It's supposed to be a better system. And this system is one we've not tried out. So it's our opportunity to try it out. Of course, there will be a couple of errors along the line. It's just the beginning. But we will work it out. When we entered democracy in 1999, it was a new constitution. But so far, we're working it out. 24 years down the line, we're working it out. Although there are tankers in the system, but it's relatively better than it was in 1999. So that's the point. The local government chairpersons will be more responsible. We hope you will be. But then, clamoring, don't give our salaries to the local government chairman. If that is not enshrined in the act that validated local government autonomy. You can clamor what you want. But I think it's better. As a matter of fact, that's what I ran for. I wanted to be part of the initial people to bring in this change. Because I saw the opportunity to turn things around. Kind of like what Alex Oti is doing in other states. Yeah, I wanted to be one of the people who will turn things around and make people see that this thing works. So we can stay here as long as we want, and I will hold this opinion because I saw something in the local government autonomy that can work if adequately utilized. And I think everybody should open up their eyes to the possibility. Rather than clamor for this, come up with suggestions, tell your local government chairman, put the pressure on them to be accountable to do the right things, and it will work better. Now we have 774 units that we can hold responsible as opposed to 36 that are not very reachable. It's easier for somebody to go from Imane, where I serve, to Opo than to go to Lokoja. Lokoja was like 4 or 5 hours a day. How do you go to Lokoja and have a meeting with the governor when Opo is just about 30 minutes to 45 minutes away and you can have a meeting with the local government chairman? It's more accessible.
All right, thank you. And then let's look at the next story for today on health. Medical experts from Lagos University Teaching Hospital and the NSIA Looked Cancer Center has raised concern that 70,000 naira minimum wage makes breast cancer treatment unaffordable for many Nigerians. The importance of early detection, personalized treatment, and warn against horrible and horrible. They noted that high treatment costs and limited access to specialized facilities are barred from many things. Here we are. Experts are rather saying that the new minimum wage, 70,000 naira, is making the treatment of breast cancer unaffordable for the people. And I'm wondering why that should be, because a lot of persons were saying that the moment the new minimum wage comes to implemented, that at least life will be a little bit easy for Nigerians. So why are they saying that it is making things more expensive and people can no longer go for treatment? How can you balance these two? Make it make sense to me, please.
When I analyzed some of the indications from that report, I observed the clamoring is saying that the minimum wage is still insufficient. That's what they are trying to say, because cancer treatment is expensive. Somebody who, worst case scenario, if you work in Nigeria, worst case scenario, you earn 70,000 naira because it's minimum wage. We are saying somebody who earns 70,000 naira, given prevailing circumstances, may still not get it because of the size of the fund. Right, that's the point that is being made, and that's why they are talking about preventive measures. So that's what they are trying to say. However, how many states are paying minimum wage already? Do you know any state that is paying minimum wage?
Of course, we know Kogi State have started paying implemented 72,500 naira for civil servants. So
civil servants have received it and come out to say they received.
We shouldn't worry about that. The most important thing is that
when I analyze facts in Nigeria, I don't analyze based on the numbers that government officials are putting at me.
Okay.
I analyze based on what I'm observing on the street. Minimum wage. I was a serving copper with 6 months to go when the former minimum wage of 30,000 was approved. I did not benefit from it. Federal government approved it and everything. I did not benefit. The coppers who came after me did not benefit. It was like 6 months, 8 months to a year later that they started benefiting. So, yes, statistics aside, statistics are good. It gives us a good indication of what is expected. But what is seen on the street is the actual challenge. Before we start putting pressure on anybody to say the new minimum wage will not be able to afford cancer treatment, let it be implemented, let people experience it first. Let's do malaria treatment first with the new minimum wage before we go on to cancer. I appreciate the fact that they are talking about all the preventive measures. Let's put in the energy to educate people. How many women do you know who know how to do breast examination? NGOs should come out and, like the medical practitioners are coming out to say, put it out there. Teach people how to make this examination. Sometimes when I go on YouTube, I see a lot of adverts that are meaningless. Nonsense adverts, productivity adverts are lacking, and health advice is lacking as adverts. So put up videos on how to do breast examination so that the grandmother in the village knows how to teach their children to do all this examination. And then all the alternative treatment, like they said, the way to verify that you don't have cancer is to go to a specialist, actually check that you don't have cancer. People should get into the habit of checking. You know, tests are expensive in Nigeria, so people don't test. Everything is malaria and typhoid. Whatever people feel, malaria and typhoid, even when it's not. So people should get into the habit of checking for lumps, going for tests. Pain is your body's way of saying something is wrong. So we shouldn't take pain relief and keep going with life. You observe pain for some time, you go and get so that it does not get to the stage where you need treatment, because 70,000 minimum wage cannot get you the treatment.
Well, is it? I'm wondering, is it not a way of the government that are not doing anything? Because when it was 30,000 naira, there were people who actually went through this kind of let's call it sickness, and they were able to treat it. Now the money has been increased to 70,000 naira, and they are saying that it is not enough. How much is it going to be increased before they will know that indeed it can actually take care of things?
700,000 naira.
Exactly. Exactly. So why can't we appreciate the little we have and move forward?
I don't know. So, my point is, rather than talking about minimum wage, I don't know how they were able to cleverly tie minimum wage to cancer treatment. People who are earning minimum wage. Nigeria is a very religious country. When you don't have a need to treat cancer, and then beyond minimum wage and treating cancer, stuff like health insurance should be preached in this country. Preventive measures and health insurance. We shouldn't wait until there is a need for treatment before we get certain insurances. Pay for health insurance so that even tests, I think some insurance package covers for tests. The money you pay for health insurance might not be able to fund the tests, but the insurance can fund the test, so that you can get regular checkups, you can monitor your body. How many people know the ideal color of urine? So that when their urine color changes, they'll be able to know that something is probably wrong somewhere. You get? So these are some of the health tips that Nigerians should know. NGOs practicing in Nigeria, medical practitioners, to enlighten people on their health.